Do you feel lost in the noise of modern life, pulled in 1,000 directions at once? This isn't another list of hacks. This is a path, a daily practice to reclaim your focus and find your center. The true power is in the consistency, and the final principle I will share is the one that gives meaning to all the others. You will want to see how it all connects in the end. Bodily stillness. We begin with the foundation, the vessel that carries your mind through this world. It is the body. In our lives, we are in constant motion, rushing from one place to another, one task to another. The body is always moving, and so the mind is always moving with it. There is a deep connection between the state of your physical form and the state of your inner world. Think of it like a glass of water with sediment at the bottom. If you are constantly shaking the glass, the water is cloudy, unclear. You cannot see through it. This is the state of a restless mind agitated by a restless body. The sediment is always stirred up. The practice then is to consciously and intentionally place the glass down, to allow it to be still. For just a few minutes every single day, you must cultivate stillness. This does not mean becoming rigid like a statue. It is a relaxed, settled stillness. You can sit in a chair, on a cushion, or even lie down. The position is not the most important part. The intention is what matters. Feel the points of contact between your body and the surface supporting you. Feel the weight of your limbs. Notice the urge to fidget, to scratch an itch, to adjust. And simply observe it without reacting. When you give the body permission to be still, you are sending a powerful message to the mind. You are saying, for this moment, there is nowhere to go, nothing to do, and nothing to solve. You are creating a sanctuary in time. In this stillness, the sediment in the water begins to settle. The thoughts may still be there, but the water around them starts to become clear. You are not trying to force the thoughts away. You are simply creating the conditions for clarity to arise on its own. This is the first step. It is the simple, profound act of stopping. This practice is a form of deep listening. You are listening to the subtle language of your body. Where do you hold tension? In your shoulders, your jaw, your stomach? Stillness reveals these patterns. It is an opportunity to gently release them. With each exhale, you can let go a little more. This is not about achieving a perfect motionless state. It is about the daily commitment to return to this place of quiet observation. By starting your day with just 5 minutes of bodily stillness, you set a new tone. You teach yourself that you are the master of your own state, not a victim of external chaos. You are the one who decides when to let the water settle. Mindful breathing. From the stillness of the body, we turn our attention to the most fundamental rhythm of life, the breath. It is the anchor that connects the physical and the mental, the conscious and the subconscious. It is with you from the moment you are born until the moment you leave. Yet, how often do you pay attention to it? It operates in the background, taken for granted. The practice of mindful breathing is to bring this automatic process into the light of your awareness. It is about transforming an unconscious habit into a conscious act of self-regulation and presence. Once you have found your stillness, you simply begin to observe the breath as it is. There is no need to change it, to force it to be deeper or slower. The instruction is only to notice. Notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils. Is it cool? Notice the gentle expansion of your chest and abdomen as you inhale. Notice the brief pause at the top of the breath. Then notice the release, the surrender as you exhale. Feel the air leaving your body, perhaps a little warmer than when it entered. This is the entire practice. It is so simple, and yet its effects are so profound. Each breath is a new beginning. When your mind wanders, and it will, this is not a failure. The wandering of the mind is its nature. The moment you realize you have wandered away from the breath is a moment of victory. It is a moment of mindfulness. In that moment, you have a choice. You can criticize yourself for losing focus, or you can gently and kindly guide your attention back to the next inhalation. Each time you do this, you are strengthening a mental muscle. It is the muscle of returning, of coming back to the present moment again and again. Your breath is your most portable and reliable tool for finding calm. In a moment of anger, of anxiety, of confusion, you can always return to your breath. 3 conscious breaths can be enough to break the spell of a powerful emotion. It creates a space between the stimulus and your reaction. In that space lies your freedom. By practicing with your breath every day, even for just a few minutes when you are already calm, you are preparing yourself for the moments when you are not. You are building a relationship with this anchor, so that when the storms of life arrive, you know exactly where to find your stability. Noble silence. Now that we have established a connection with the body and the breath, we must address the world outside of us. We live in an age of constant input, notifications, news, opinions, advertisements. There is a never-ending stream of information trying to capture our attention. This external noise creates internal noise. It agitates the mind, pulls it in every direction, and prevents the deep inner work that is necessary for growth. The practice of noble silence is the conscious decision to turn down the volume of the outside world so that you can hear the wisdom within. This is not simply about not speaking. It is about reducing consumption. For a set period of time each day, you make a commitment to not consume any unnecessary information. This means no social media, no news articles, no podcasts, no television. It is a fast for the mind. At first, this can feel deeply uncomfortable. You will notice the mind's craving for stimulation, for distraction. It will look for something to latch onto. This discomfort is part of the process. It reveals the depth of our attachment to external noise. By sitting in this silence, you give your mind a chance to process what is already there. Instead of constantly adding new information, you are allowing the old information to be sorted, understood, and integrated. Thoughts and feelings that have been buried under the noise will begin to surface. This is not something to be feared. It is an opportunity for healing and understanding. You are creating a space where your own intuition, your own inner voice can finally be heard without having to shout over the clamor of the world. Start small. Perhaps it is for the first 30 minutes of your day. Instead of reaching for your phone, you simply sit with your tea or your breakfast in silence. Or perhaps it is for an hour in the evening. You are reclaiming your own mental space. You are declaring that your attention is a precious resource, and you will be the one to decide where it is directed. This practice cultivates a sense of inner richness. You begin to realize that you do not need constant external validation or entertainment to feel whole. The silence itself becomes a source of peace and clarity. It is a necessary counterbalance to the chaos of our modern world. Gentle movement. Stillness is essential, but life is also movement. The key is to bring the quality of awareness we cultivate in stillness into motion. The practice of gentle movement is not about pushing your body to its limits, like in a strenuous workout. It is not about performance or achieving a certain look. It is a meditation in motion. It is about feeling your body from the inside out as it moves through space. It is about uniting the mind and the body in a graceful, flowing dance. This could be a formal practice like Qigong or Tai Chi, or it could be as simple as a mindful walk. If you choose to walk, leave your headphones behind. The walk itself is the practice. Feel the soles of your feet making contact with the ground. Heel, ball, toes. Feel the transfer of weight from one leg to the other. Notice the subtle shifts in balance. Notice how your arms swing gently by your sides. Lift your gaze and see the world around you, not just as a backdrop, but as a living, breathing environment. See the light filtering through the leaves, the texture of the pavement, the movement of the clouds. You are not walking to get somewhere. You are walking to be where you are. This form of movement lubricates the joints, releases stored tension, and allows energy or qi to flow more freely through the body. When we are stressed or sedentary, this energy can become blocked or stagnant, leading to physical and emotional discomfort. Gentle flowing movements help to dissolve these blockages. It is like a stream that has been dammed up with rocks and debris. The gentle, persistent flow of water will eventually wear down the obstacles and restore the natural current. The mindset here is one of curiosity and kindness, not of judgment. There is no right or wrong way to feel. You are simply exploring the landscape of your physical being. How does your body want to move today? Some days it may feel light and energetic. Other days it may feel heavy and tired. The practice is to meet your body where it is without demanding it be something else. This cultivates a deep and compassionate relationship with your physical form. You learn to listen to its wisdom and honor its needs. Through gentle movement, you bring the peace you find in stillness out into the active part of your life. Single tasking. In our culture, multitasking is often seen as a strength, a badge of honor. We believe that doing more at once makes us more productive. But the truth is, the human mind is not designed to focus on multiple conscious tasks simultaneously. When we believe we are multitasking, what we are actually doing is rapidly switching our attention from one thing to another. This constant switching is exhausting for the brain. It depletes our mental energy, increases stress, and leads to shallower, less effective work. The antidote to this is the practice of single tasking. Single tasking is the simple yet radical act of doing one thing at a time with your full attention. When you are writing an email, just write the email, close all the other tabs, put your phone out of sight. When you are eating a meal, just eat the meal. Do not watch television or scroll through your phone. Taste the food. Notice the textures, the flavors, the aromas. When you are having a conversation with someone, give them the gift of your complete presence. Listen to understand, not just to reply. This is a profound form of respect for both the task and for yourself. The practice is to choose one task and to set an intention to stay with it for a specific period of time. It could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. During this time, you dedicate your entire being to that one activity. When the inevitable distractions arise, the urge to check your phone, the thought about another task you need to do, you treat them just as you treat distractions in meditation. You acknowledge them without judgment, and then you gently guide your focus back to the task at hand. You are training your mind to be less reactive and more focused. This practice transforms chores into meditations. Washing the dishes can become a sensory experience. The warmth of the water, the feeling of the soap, the satisfaction of seeing a clean plate. Folding laundry can become an exercise in precision and care. By bringing your full attention to the mundane, you infuse it with a sense of purpose and peace. You will find that you not only do better work, but you also feel less stressed and more fulfilled. You are no longer scattered and fragmented. You are whole, present, and engaged in the flow of life, one single precious moment at a time. Observing thoughts. We have worked with the body, the breath, and our actions in the world. Now, we turn our attention inward, to the very nature of the mind itself. The mind produces thoughts. This is its function, just as the heart beats and the lungs breathe. We cannot simply stop our thoughts, nor should we try. To fight with your thoughts is to create an inner war, a struggle that only leads to more agitation. The practice, therefore, is not to stop the thoughts, but to change your relationship with them. It is the practice of becoming the observer. Imagine you are sitting on the bank of a river. The thoughts are like leaves, sticks, or boats floating by on the current. Some are pleasant, some are unpleasant. Some are large and demand your attention. Others are small and pass by almost unnoticed. Your task is not to jump into the river and grab onto every object. Your task is to simply sit on the bank and watch them float by. You notice them, acknowledge their presence, and let them continue on their way. Ah, there is a thought about work. There is a memory from childhood. There is a worry about the future. You see them, but you are not them. This practice creates a space between you, the conscious observer, and the stream of your thinking. In this space lies freedom and peace. You begin to realize that you are not the anger. You are the one who is aware of the anger. You are not the anxiety. You are the one who observes the anxious thoughts and feelings. This detachment does not mean you become cold or unfeeling. It means you are no longer a slave to every passing thought and emotion. You are no longer swept away by the current. You are the calm, steady presence on the shore. You can practice this formally in your sitting meditation, but you can also practice it throughout your day. When a strong emotion arises, instead of immediately reacting, you can take a breath and internally name it. This is anger. This is sadness. This is fear. This simple act of labeling creates that crucial space. It shifts you from being consumed by the emotion to being aware of it. You are not your thoughts. They are visitors passing through the house of your mind. You can learn to be a gracious host, allowing them to come and go without letting them take over the entire house. This is self-mastery, cultivating gratitude. So much of our suffering comes from a mind that is focused on what is lacking. We focus on what we don't have, what went wrong, or what we wish were different. This creates a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. The practice of cultivating gratitude is a conscious shift in perspective. It is the intentional act of turning your attention toward what is present, what is good, and what you can appreciate. It is not about ignoring difficulties, but about balancing the scale and recognizing the abundance that already exists in your life. This is not a superficial exercise of simply listing things. It is about feeling the gratitude in your body. Each day, take a few moments to find something to be truly grateful for. Start with the most simple and fundamental things. I am grateful for this breath that is sustaining my life right now. Feel the truth of that. Without this breath, there is nothing else. I am grateful for this body that allows me to experience the world. Even with its aches and pains, it is a miracle. I am grateful for the clean water I can drink, the roof over my head, the food I have to eat. By focusing on these fundamental gifts, you ground yourself in a reality of abundance. From there, you can expand. Perhaps you feel gratitude for a kind word someone shared with you, for the beauty of a sunset, for the comfort of a warm bed, or for a challenging experience that taught you an important lesson. The key is to let the feeling of appreciation permeate your being. Let it soften your heart. A mind that is filled with gratitude has little room for resentment, envy, or self-pity. This practice rewires your brain. It trains your mind to scan for the positive, just as it may have been trained to scan for threats and problems. It doesn't mean life will be free of challenges. The challenges will still come. But your inner foundation will be stronger. You will face adversity from a place of resourcefulness and inner wealth, not from a place of scarcity and lack. When you truly feel grateful for the life you have, you stop desperately seeking for happiness outside of yourself. You realize that the seeds of contentment are already within you, waiting to be watered. Reading wisdom, we do not have to figure everything out on our own. For thousands of years, wise men and women have walked this path of self-discovery. They have wrestled with the same fundamental questions of life, suffering, and peace that we do. They have recorded their insights, their struggles, and their discoveries in texts that have stood the test of time. The practice of reading wisdom is to humbly place yourself at the feet of these great teachers and learn from their experience. It is about nourishing your mind with timeless truths. This is different from reading for entertainment or for information. When you read wisdom literature, be it from the Stoics, the Buddhist sutras, the Tao Te Ching, or the words of great philosophers, you do so slowly and contemplatively. You are not trying to get through the book. You are allowing the book to get through to you. Read a single paragraph or even a single sentence and then pause. Put the book down. Close your eyes. Let the words sink in. What do they mean to you right now in your life? How does this idea challenge your current way of thinking? How could you apply this insight to a problem you are facing? This is a dialogue with the author, a dialogue with the wisdom itself. You are not just a passive recipient of information. You are an active participant in the exploration of truth. One profound sentence, deeply contemplated, is worth more than 100 pages skimmed without reflection. This practice provides you with a map and a compass. When you feel lost or confused, you can turn to these texts and find guidance. They remind you of the bigger picture. They lift your perspective beyond your own immediate troubles and connect you to the universal human journey. They assure you that you are not alone in your struggles. This daily act of reading and reflecting builds a reservoir of wisdom within you. Over time, these external teachings begin to merge with your own inner voice, creating a powerful source of strength, clarity, and direction. Reviewing actions. At the end of each day, before you sleep, it is a powerful practice to conduct a gentle and honest review of your actions. This is not an exercise in self-criticism or judgment. It is not about beating yourself up for your mistakes. It is an act of compassionate self-awareness. It is an opportunity to learn from your own life, to see where your actions were aligned with your deepest values, and where they were not. It is how you ensure that you are consciously steering the ship of your life rather than drifting aimlessly. Find a quiet moment. You can simply sit or you can write in a journal. Ask yourself a few simple questions. Throughout this day, where were my actions skillful? Where did I act with kindness, with patience, with clarity? Acknowledge these moments. Feel good about them. This reinforces positive behavior. Perhaps you listened patiently to a friend, or you completed a difficult task with focus, or you chose not to engage in a pointless argument. Recognize these small victories. Then you ask the more difficult question, always with a spirit of gentle curiosity, not blame. Where were my actions unskillful? Where did I act out of anger, fear, or habit? Where did I cause harm to myself or to others through my words or deeds? See these moments clearly without making excuses. Take responsibility for them. If you spoke harshly to someone, acknowledge it. If you were lazy when you had committed to being disciplined, see it for what it was. The purpose of seeing these unskillful actions is not to dwell on them in guilt. The purpose is to learn. You ask, what was the root of that action? What was the trigger? If I face a similar situation tomorrow, how could I respond with more wisdom and compassion? This is how you grow. You are making small daily course corrections. Life is a process of refinement. By reviewing your actions each day, you ensure that you are learning the lessons life is trying to teach you. You are taking an active role in becoming a better, wiser, and kinder human being. Accepting impermanence. We now arrive at the final principle, the one that holds all the others. This is the understanding that is the most difficult to grasp, yet the most liberating. It is the wisdom of impermanence. Everything changes. Everything is in a constant state of flux. This is the fundamental nature of reality. Your body is changing with every breath. Your thoughts are a fleeting parade. Your emotions rise and fall like waves in the ocean. The people in your life, the world around you, your joys and your sorrows, all of it is temporary. We suffer because we resist this truth. We try to cling to pleasure, to hold on to moments of happiness, to keep things as they are. This clinging is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers, and we try to push away pain, to avoid discomfort, to deny loss. This aversion creates a constant state of tension and struggle against the natural flow of life. The practice is to soften your grip, to learn to be with things as they are, knowing they will change. When you are experiencing a moment of great joy, enjoy it fully, but with a quiet understanding in the back of your mind that this too will pass. This doesn't diminish the joy, it makes it more precious. When you are experiencing a moment of great sorrow or pain, you can find a small measure of comfort in the same knowledge. This too will pass. It will not last forever. This gives you the strength to endure. You stop fighting with reality and you learn to flow with it. This understanding is the key that unlocks all the other practices. You practice bodily stillness because you know the restlessness of the mind is impermanent. You watch your breath because it is an anchor in the ever-changing present moment. You observe your thoughts knowing they are just temporary clouds in the vast sky of your awareness. You cultivate gratitude for the good moments because you know they are precious and fleeting. Accepting impermanence is not a pessimistic view of life. It is the ultimate embrace of life in its totality, its beauty, its pain, its constant unfolding mystery. It is the source of profound and unshakable peace. These 10 practices are not a checklist to be completed. They are facets of a single, unified path. It is the path of turning inward, of cultivating awareness, and of mastering yourself. It is a daily commitment to living a more conscious, more peaceful, and more meaningful life. The journey does not have a final destination. The path itself is the goal. Each day you practice, you are succeeding. Each moment you are aware, you are home. The part about observing thoughts like clouds in the sky and realizing I am the sky, not the clouds, just stopped me in my tracks. I've spent my whole life wrestling with my thoughts, trying to force the bad clouds away. It's so exhausting. The idea of just letting them pass through without identifying with them feels like the key to a cage I didn't even know I was in. This changes everything. Thank you for this clarity.